Hey guys, I'm Emily Kohler. I'm from Trucenta and the Breeze team. Today we have a very special guest with Rick Wershe, aka White Boy Rick. Talk about his new product line, new partnerships, and the most exciting stuff is really your charity work. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Thank you.
So we just got it at Breeze, the new product line, which is the eighth.
Which is your Eighth Amendment.
And that's what I want to know more about. I've read the stuff, but I want to know it.
Well, in this country, like a lot of our rights are trampled on because people don't know them. A lot of people know your First Amendment, now the Second Amendment. A lot of people don't. The Fifth is pretty cut and dry. You plead the Fifth. But like if I asked you what your Sixth Amendment was, do you know it?
Absolutely not.
It follows your Fifth. Your Fifth, you plead silent. Your Sixth is your right to an attorney.
Okay.
So if you don't know your rights, they're going to be trampled on. They're not going to be enforced. And your Eighth Amendment is the ban on cruel and unusual punishment, excessive bail, excessive fines. So to me, everything that I went through in getting out, the Eighth Amendment was what we based my motion on. So one of the partners at Pleasantries, we wanted to do the Fifth and the Sixth. And Brian Wickersham, who I love dearly, came up and he went home and he watched my documentary and he was like, "Are you guys crazy? It's the Eighth." And then collectively, you know, we came up with the handcuff logo and the Eighth.
Love that. Yep.
So I have to give credit to Brian and, you know, the guy that designed the logo just did an amazing job, Brad. And it's awesome, you know. To me, it's not just about cannabis. It's a brand, but it's a brand that I want people to understand that these are your rights. And as an American citizen, and even if you're here not as an American citizen, you still shouldn't have your rights infringed upon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love the brand. It's my baby.
I can tell. I can feel the passion radiating from them. So you have eighths of the eighth available.
We have eighths of the eighths. We have quarters. We have pre-rolls.
Okay.
So the 5-pack pre-rolls, I love the ocean. They're 100% ocean recycled plastic. So to me, that was a big deal. So I love that we were able to do that as well.
I love that. I know that's one of the reasons that at Trucenta and Breeze we were really excited to have your products on the shelf, is because you're doing something with the product. You know, there's tons of brands out there. Everybody's trying to get in the cannabis game, right? But having a passion and a motive for doing it the right way, you know, like we were kind of talking about earlier, this will help you with your other passion projects.
My motive for this is the better my brand does in this, the better I can do with my charity work, with giving back, with, you know, a portion of all the proceeds go to social equity, to wrongfully incarcerated, to overly incarcerated. I mean, we talk about people that are wrongfully incarcerated. There's tons of people in the world, in our country, that are over-sentenced, that don't belong in prison. And one of the things that I've joined now is the Good Time Initiative and trying to bring back Good Time to Michigan. We're one of the few states that you do really 120% of your sentence. So if you're sentenced to 5 years to 15 years, you're probably going to do a minimum of 6 years. In other states, federal, Florida, tons of other states, you're able to earn good time credits. And Michigan has got away from all that.
Oh, wow. Never really realized that.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I'm passionate about, is prison reform as well. So, you know, just giving back. So much of my life was spent in prison that I don't want to ever forget about people that are still in there that don't belong in there. I'm not saying let everybody out of prison. I'm saying give people a second chance or a third chance. You know,
chance, a fighting chance.
Yeah, just treat everybody the same. It shouldn't matter if you were born in Wayne County or Oakland County, or if you live on the east side of Detroit, or if you live in Birmingham. You should be treated the same. This is America. We say equal justice under law, but we really don't live by that.
No. And I think what we've been going through the past couple of years has made that really evident for everybody. And I think that's why brands like what you're doing, it almost seems to minimize it calling it a brand, because what you're doing is so much more than a brand. You know what I mean? That's the face of it, but you're out here living with a
It's the face of it, but the eighth is, you know, you don't have to buy my weed to support the 8th. You can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a hat, you can, you know, give back to a cause. It doesn't even have to be my cause. Just give back. Do something positive. There's so much negativity and so many people in this world, you know, that I don't engage in negativity. I try and do positive things. And to me, positive is giving back or doing something for someone. So there's always going to be haters. I have a few words for them, but I choose the high road now, so, you know, fuck them.
Yeah.
Is the nice way to say it.
I love that. I mean, it's working out for you, and I know you're partnered with Pleasantries, and they have a great social equity program as well that you're involved with.
Awesome.
So
We're trying to do, listen, we have a team over there, and that was what led me, you know, to Pleasantries, and there's so many good people in this cannabis industry. Like, they helped me give a kid a handicap van. You know, this kid started writing me 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And to be able to change his life, we were able to do that through the cannabis industry. So the cannabis industry as a whole, like all these people in our communities now that are better in the communities, creating jobs, you know, I feel like they're part of my family because they're like, Rick, you're doing good. We want to do good with you. Yeah. And they put their money where their mouth is. And to me, that's what this is all about. Everybody can make a living, but let's all make a living and give back to those that need it. You know, what you guys are doing with the Promise Zone tonight, you know, that's amazing to me that every kid in Hazel Park has an opportunity to go to college. That's amazing.
Our founders are very, very passionate about a group in Hazel Park that they are on the board of, and called the Hazel Park Promise Zone, where they help get college funding and whatnot and school supplies for kids in the area who need help with all of that. And we have Rick tonight speaking at one of our events, and just really special to see this part of the industry, and you know, everyone who's still locked up for getting us to this point. You know, I think this is,
which is sad. Like, I don't believe anybody in this country should be in prison. Prisons weren't built for nonviolent offenders. If you go back, everybody talks about history. Well, do some research and go read your history. Prisons were built for violent offenders. We've created this industry, this prison boom. That, you know, we've privatized prisons. We sell a ramen noodle soup for 70 cents. We charge you both ways for an email. You know, there's people making billions of dollars off people's misery. And when you're in prison, it's really the people in society that pay. Like if your brother's in prison, you're paying your phone bill.
I grew up with my dad in prison.
So you know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah, it's expensive.
And it shouldn't be.
No.
We shouldn't make money off people that are at the lowest point of their lives.
Yeah.
The system is taking advantage of those people's families or those people's loved ones. And you know, the one thing when I get to talk to a judge or a state senator or a prosecutor, I ask them to remember one thing. When you sentence that individual, you're sentencing his family
whole
too.
Family.
His or her family. You know, another person I was able to aid in getting out is Tracy Cowan.
Okay.
And she just did 19 years for a nonviolent crime. How do we keep a 60-year-old woman incarcerated for a nonviolent crime and we say we're the most humane country in the world?
Those two things don't add up.
It's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
They don't go together. So, you know, now she's out here doing good things. And she said, Rick, what can I do? And I said, help the next person. What I was able to do for you, keep it going. And I'll help her any way I can.
That's amazing.
So.
And I know we talked a little bit about how, you know, everyone else can get involved, whether, you know, like you said, not everyone needs to smoke cannabis to get involved with this cause. This is a cause that affects all of us in some way or another. And, you know, we can buy t-shirts, we can do that stuff. How can they get more directly involved? Is there a website that they can kind of keep up with you and what you're doing?
Well, on Instagram, I have, you know, the 8th by White Boy Rick. You could follow that. You could follow me at Rick Wershe. lowercase Jr.
Okay.
on Instagram, and just keep the momentum going, keep the movement going. Let's make change, but let's make change for the better. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you do. Even if you don't do something positive for someone that's incarcerated, or just do something good in society. Like, trust me, it's just as easy to do good things as it is to do bad. And you don't have to look over your shoulder. So if we all just try and do that, it'd be a better place.
Amen to that.
You know,
I
it's
agree.
there's so much going on, you know, with Ukraine right now, and Russia, and gas $5 or $7 some places. Like,
Food shortages,
yeah,
food
you know,
inflation, everything's
there's always
expensive.
people in
Yeah,
need somewhere.
absolutely.
So just, I don't care if it's going down to your local food bank and offering to volunteer your time, or you know, at a community center, or, you know, one of the other things we have in this world that we don't address, we have a huge mental health crisis. And we turn a blind eye to that. You know, we lock people up, and that when you're locked up with a mental health issue, it doesn't stop.
No,
It
exacerbates
progresses,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you come out and it's worse. So I was able to partner with a company, Team Wellness, and I work with them. And it's a mental health, you know, fully integrated mental health, fully integrated healthcare services, you know, prison reform. And the owner, he does so much for the community. Like, if you go down to Mac and Mount Elliott, he feeds 300 to 500 people a day out of his own pocket.
Wow.
And I'm just so blessed to be a part of that organization. And it has nothing to do with cannabis, but it's about giving back and doing positive things. And, you know, he believed in me, and I believe in what he's doing and what we're doing as a team at Team Wellness, that I just love them, and I love what we're able to do.
That's really powerful.
So,
I think, I mean, at the core of it, that's what we all in the cannabis industry like to believe that we're here for, is because we care about other people's wellness. But I like that you highlight the fact that it takes more than just being in the cannabis industry and sharing this aspect of it to, you know, there's other ways you can give back. There's other ways you can go out there and do it. And, you know, on our team, we have a lot of people who don't partake in cannabis, but they're still here because they believe they make a positive impact. And I think what you're doing gives another channel for people to give back in a way not directly tied to cannabis, which is powerful for a lot of people.
yeah, listen, a lot of people, there's people that don't believe in cannabis, but the voters voted for it. It's here. It's not going anywhere. But trust me, alcohol does far worse things in our community than cannabis. You know,
Absolutely.
when's the last time you heard of an alcohol distributors coming together to give a kid a handicap van? I haven't heard of it.
No.
But the cannabis industry rallied around me and said, this is what we're going to do. And they did it. And I couldn't thank them enough. And it changed Raleigh's life. You know, so, and trust me, we just all need to, like, give back, do good things, and all work together. You know, this industry's got a lot of things going on in it that I've become privy to, that if we all work together, we can make this space a better space for each other and to help others. And everybody I've met, not one person I've met in this industry, if I've asked them to give to a cause, they've not said no.
Yeah. Most
So
people,
that says
yeah.
a lot about this space.
Yeah, I agree with that, because it really is on, you know, built on connection. That's what cannabis does, in my opinion. It helps us connect with each other, and in a, you know, like in the past 2 years, connection's been tough, and the world's been tough. So I think more than ever, it's very important to connect, and like you said, help each other out. Everyone could use a hand right now.
Absolutely. And listen, a lot of businesses or spaces give, but I don't think they're giving. The one thing I've learned is the people that have been through the most give the most. The people that have never been through anything, they really don't care.
You don't know the worth until you've
No,
not
and
had it.
until you've been through that struggle, or you've been, you know, through hell, or you've been through some trauma, like, they just don't give as much. Their heart isn't in it. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
I agree with that. I would agree with that for most people. And I think that's why you're such an inspiration, is because you're sitting here giving me goosebumps with the passion that's radiating off of you for other people
No,
and for
listen,
community, you know?
I live a good life.
Yeah.
I know the difference from a need and a want. And there's a lot of things I want, but I don't need them. So if I can do positive things before I get that want that I don't need, I give back instead. So
That's beautiful.
and I'm fortunate to have my other half is very giving and, you know, sometimes too giving, but we always do positive
Women can
things.
do that
And,
sometimes.
you know, it's not just people. We support, you know, animal rights and you know, we try and help back with rescues and things that are near and dear to our heart. So that's what we try and do.
I love it. I think you have a beautiful thing going on, and
I do.
I'm very thrilled to have heard your story a little
I
bit.
do. I have 2 little rescue dogs and 2 prison cats that live with me that I sent home from prison. So
I love that.
Bonnie and Clyde and Sophie and Rosie. So,
Oh, what a
But-
gang.
yeah.
Gotta love it.
We listen. I appreciate Breeze, Trucenta, the whole cannabis industry as a whole. I love you guys. I appreciate everything that everyone's doing, and let's all just work together and do positive things.
Amen to that.
So
Thank you so much.
thank you. Thanks
Pleasure
for
to talk
having
to
me.
you. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to learn more, like he was saying, go ahead and give him a follow, either at the 8th by White Boy Rick or Rick Wershe _Jr.